Hey everybody, welcome back to a video. This is a get ready with me kind of chit chat, kind of updates on life, everything rolled into one. It's going to be a long one, so grab yourself a snack, some tea, a coffee, whatever that you like to get into and chill out. Put me in the background, whatever that you do. I have kind of some thoughts on my mind I feel like I want to talk to you about, but then it's really awkward if I'm just sitting here like yapping to the screen for 20 minutes. Not that I don't do that at times. So I felt like maybe we'll put some makeup on together that kind of distracts me while I'm talking to you about my first world problems, right? And given where we are right now, I completely understand whatever issues I've got in my head are absolutely first world problems. But hey, if you've got first world problems too and you just want someone to like, you know, hear you out, hit me up in the comments because I feel you. So I'm talking through quickly. I'm gonna put on my face. My skin is feeling just kind of funny. Granted, working from home, you'd think that I'd be much better at my skincare. I am not. I have become way too attached to my computer. Like, I brought my work computer home, but even like, because you don't have you know, lunch bells and alarms and stuff, I haven't been great at sorting out and organizing my time. Side note, this is not going to be like a super nicely filmed makeup tutorial or anything. I just need to kind of occupy my mind and my hands while we're chatting. So if it looks really like the way you do your makeup in the morning, like scrubbing your face all over the place, this is it, because I'm doing it the same way. Anyways, I find it hard to get myself on a good work from home routine. So I haven't been, just been a bit of a slump, you know, but that is not my first world problem because now we've got bigger problems to contend with. Side note, I just put on some First Aid Beauty Coconut Skin Smoothing Priming Moisturizer. My skin isn't dry, but it's a little flaky. So I'm a little worried the foundation I'm going to use today may or may not work well with just my current skin situation. So I am going to put on, this is new by the way, I got it recently-ish, like it was having, what is it, 25% off or something like that site-wide. It Cosmetics CC Cream. This one is the illumination version. So now I actually have all three versions of the CC Cream, the matte, the original, and the illumination. Which one do I like better? Haven't made up my mind yet, but I can tell you I've worn this once. I think the color is a bit off, matched to like my natural skin tone, which is like my neck and chest and stuff like that. My face then does tend to be a bit darker, so I try to match it to kind of this part of my skin, but it gets a little problematic. I have the color in Fair, but it is a smidge dark and a smidge orangey. So I'm going to mix it with a drop or two of the L'Oreal Infallible. So these two together, hopefully my camera will pick that up. Mostly this and then a smidge of that, and hopefully that will sort things out. All right, so now that I've cleared myself, I can get back to my first world problems. So as those of you who live in British Columbia may have heard, our schools are reopening June 1st. Let me remind you that the end of the school year is like June 26th, but we're trying out gradual reopening, this and that. They made the formal announcement, the government did, and so I am heading back to the school site very, very soon. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about the precautionary measures, or our attempt to safely social distance very small people, this and that. So that's kind of one thing that's really been on my mind. I'm not going to talk too much about it, just because there's a lot of parties involved and, you know, me being a teacher, this and that. But know that that is on my mind, and it's definitely playing into the stress of everything. But I think what's playing more into the stress of things is that I just got the call from my landlord, like really nice guy and all that, but the unit that I'm currently living in is one of 2 units that he owns or co-owns or whatever it is. He's selling the unit that he's currently living in, and is going to move into this one, which means I gotta get out. Now, I know formally during this situation, I think there's some rules about, you know, they can't give formal notice, this and that, but I'd rather know that this is see what I mean? That this is the direction that we're heading in, and to have the summer to move and find my bearings again, instead of when COVID is over and landlord just give you a 1 month formal notice, because that could be at any time. It could be like Christmas, it could be, you know, during the fall when work is super crazy as teachers. So I'd rather do it over my summer break, but it was very unexpected. I feel a little bit emotional about it. I think part of it is that the actual moving process is so stressful. Like, I know some people are really excited about moving and they just move all the time. I'm not one of those people. The process of actually moving was so draining, and it's not something I look forward to. Living in a different space, I'm okay with that, but just the moving part, you know? So and again, I wasn't prepared to move per se, so I gotta figure all of that out. Yesterday I just started looking at listings and what they've got out there. Now, the rental prices in the Vancouver Lower Mainland still hasn't really dropped. Like, there's all kinds of rumors, and you know, online they're saying, oh, prices are dropping because of this and that, and the empty house tax and whatever, so people are renting out lower prices. Not really. I think in some parts, yes, but if you're very particular about the location that you live in, the amenities, feeling safe and comfortable walking out at night, you know, by yourself if you have to, stuff like that, those kind of places, prices are still exactly where they are. Why is it so dark right here? I don't know, guys, sorry. I'm not sure why I'm so dark. I'll fix it in post. All right, I think the foundation looks so much better with a smidge of the L'Oreal Infallible. By the way, this one I mixed into the Fair is 400 Pearl in this color. So this is Fair, this is Pearl, and together it looks way better match, because this on its own wasn't cutting it. And I'm about like a MAC NC 15, NC 20, maybe kind of in between, sometimes a little closer to the 15, sometimes closer to the 20, but that's a tip for you. It doesn't look too bad over my skin, so yeah, let's go with it. I'm gonna put on a little bit of blush. I usually put on blush last, but because I'm going for a pretty subtle makeup, I think today, I'm just gonna put blush on now with the Beauty Blender. This is Physicians Formula Organic Wear Dewy Blush Elixir with Superfruits. So that's what this looks like. And the color I have is called Pink Berry. There's a whole lot of product in here. It's 15 ml of liquid / cream blush. So anyways, back to what I was saying. So I am now unexpectedly thrown into looking for a new place. I still feel very strongly about living in my own place instead of moving back in with my parents. I spoke about this on and off a little bit, but it's a lot for my personal mental health and just the way that, you know, people live differently and we have different routines and values, and it's being on my own in my own space has brought me so much more clarity, which would never have come had I stayed at home. So my thoughts are to look for another place, but yeah, still, you know, have my own spot. But that does throw me in for a loop, that I need to look for something fairly quickly. I still want a lot of, like, my priorities are still the same, you know, being close to public transportation. I don't drive. Funny, I think for most people, if you're on a single person salary, even as a working professional, it's very hard to rent with rental prices, unless you're willing to sacrifice a lot of, like, you know, things. But rent and owning a car as a younger person, and gas prices, and in particular insurance, you couldn't do it. It would be a real stretch. So even if I did know how to drive, it wouldn't have made sense financially. So anyways, yeah, so all those priorities are still what I'm looking for. So now it just comes down to looking for a place. So I like the idea of, you know, dreaming about places to live, and even before knowing that I need to move, I would still once in a while go and look at rentals, you know, on the computer, just because it's fun to imagine the places and whatnot. But I'm such a homebody, and just, yeah, moving sounds so stressful. But this time around, side note, just put on some fresh, oh, you can't see that, can you? This is the Fresh Sugar Lip Balm in Lime Mint. So this is a newer release. It's the green one. So I'm gonna have this lip balm on while I do my eye makeup. Okay, like I was saying, I think this time around I'm going to hire movers. Last time, you know, my parents graciously helped me move, but I didn't have really furniture or anything like that because I was moving out of just like my childhood bedroom. But this time I've got like a sofa, I've got a desk, slightly bigger items. I've got like that IKEA Calyx shelf behind me. It's just bigger items, and I don't want to like, they're gonna want to help and all that, but I don't want to stress them out with the actual physicality of moving. So I think I'm gonna hire movers, and some of the small stuff I'll pack up and get my parents to help, you know, drive it over and stuff. And this is all like me playing out the process in my head. I have not found a place yet, not anywhere close. I haven't gone to see any listings. I just need to know my process, so I don't freak out as much as I'm actually freaking out. Side note, Morphe 25B palette. I'm not really going to talk about what colors I'm using, just kind of randomly shump some colors together and put it on my face. There. Yeah, so hiring movers, we'll see how that goes. I've heard good things and bad things about hiring movers, so I am a little bit apprehensive. Like, when we moved as a family, you know, my parents definitely hired movers with like the bigger furniture, and they had the equipment to move stuff. But I'm hoping if I pack up just my smaller bits and bobs, and those my parents can help me drive over to wherever it needs to be, and then just leave the big furniture pieces, it will go a lot smoother, and you know, they can just take it and go. So I also talked about that in the past while I was on this whole process of decluttering my stuff. Well, clearly I haven't completely finished decluttering my stuff, and but I don't want to take the stuff that I probably won't want to keep and have to pack them and move them to whatever new place I'm going to. So we'll have to see if I just rush through decluttering, or what I'm gonna do with that, I have no idea. Of course, I understand, like I said, the less stuff that I have, the easier it is to move, and less there is to pack, and cheaper it is to move, this and that. Yeah, that's kind of where I am right now. It's making me feel very unsettled, very, very anxious, on top of work and health and all that. But it's just something I gotta do. Yeah, I've started looking at a few places. Just look at the listings and see what's going on around town. I think I still want to be in an apartment unit because of the independence. I really like that part, and not having, you know, not having, like, I wouldn't mind spatially, I wouldn't mind a basement suite, I wouldn't mind like sharing a house and stuff like that, but a lot of times it really depends on if the people that's living above you or below you are really friendly or not. Like, it's a hit or miss, and sometimes you don't know from that initial interaction how they're going to be. So I'd rather do a single apartment unit. Therefore, you know, if your neighbors are great. If your neighbors are kind of cuckoo, whatever, right? But location and kind of that community aspect, you know, walkability to groceries and transit, all that is really important, and especially being able to get to work fairly easily, stuff like that. So I'm looking again, not crazy about looking, but I am, and there's some really nice places out there. Oh, battery's flashing. Hang on, I'm gonna swap out the battery and come right back. Okay, we're back. The battery is not completely charged. I put it on for a while. Funny, like, to show how unprepared I was to film this video, I didn't have any of my 3 batteries for this camera charged at all, but the other one is still charging, so if this one dies out again, hopefully those will be more ready. Anyways, in the meanwhile, I went and made myself a little quick, what would you call this, like a soy, a hazelnut soy ice latte without the ice. It's just cold. I don't like it with a lot of ice. So while that was charging, while the battery was charging, we did that. Okay, let's pick up where we left off with my eyeshadow and where our first world problem conversation was going. Anyways, I think, you know, right now the more important thing maybe is to think about the positives. I know some people are really about seeing things in a positive light. That doesn't come to me naturally. I have to work really hard on that mindset. But I think that's really the only thing to do at the moment. I don't have the right brush for what I want to do. A lot of them are not clean. Okay, we'll use this one. Ooh, or maybe, do I have a... Okay, I'm gonna use this one. I'm just gonna wipe it off. Yeah, a lot of people are like really positive thinkers. So let's maybe talk about a few positive things of being forced to move out, essentially. This place is pretty cozy. I don't actually mind how small it is, but I definitely wouldn't mind if it was a little bit bigger. Right now we're looking at about 435 square feet, and it's actually fairly rare to find a single apartment unit that's this size. A lot of the places that are in this 400-ish is attached as a sublet to a house or something like that, or as a laneway house, I guess is what they're called. So whatever place I move into, if it is a standalone apartment, will definitely be bigger than this place. Like I said, I don't mind this size. I've learned to have multifunctional spaces and furniture, and it actually works well for me. I can make the space work for all my hobbies, but it never hurts to have a little bit of extra space to do my sewing and, you know, stuff like that. I've been looking at a few listings. Some of them have great balconies. My balconies is a decent size for a little chair, a little table, some plants. But if the balcony space is a little bigger, I can get a bit more robust with my gardening, like my balcony gardening, which can be very exciting. There's potential to have more storage in my future kitchen, which is always exciting. Look, I don't think I have a lot of kitchen appliances. Some people think I have a lot of kitchen appliances. Maybe we can agree to disagree there. And while I do manage to find storage for all of my kitchen bits and bobs, it would be nice to have some more pantry space or cabinet space. That's one thing I definitely find is lacking in this kitchen. While for the size of what it is, there are a lot of like the full-size appliances and stuff. Oh, this is dark. A lot of full-size appliances. I've got like a proper, you know, oven and four burner stove and stuff like that, and a fridge. There's not a lot of space, cupboard space. Ooh, is what I would like. If there's a bit more cupboard space for actual dishes so I don't have to hide them in my dishwasher, I'd be really happy with that. And a bit more pantry space. Because right now I actually keep some of my pantry stuff on the balcony in, like, I have a little setup thing where it's closed off and stuff, but because there is no place for pantry stuff, the cabinets are just arranged so awkwardly that it just didn't work out. Wow, that was really dark. It was darker than I wanted it to be, but that's okay. So those are definitely some positives. Another positive is potentially, depending on where I end up, I might be a little bit closer to things like, you know, like coffee shops or like the grocery store and stuff. So that's always nice. And when you have more options, you can be a even bit more economical in terms of your food and grocery buying decisions. I know sometimes you have to buy out of what is convenient for you, and sometimes it might be a bit more expensive, or you have to really arrange the time to go to the places that are cheaper for your groceries in order to make your budget. I do have a pretty set and solid grocery budget to make sure that I am not overspending. You know, once in a while when you go out for drinks or a meal with your friends, that counts as a bit of extra. But for my daily groceries, I do have a budget that includes, you know, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 3 meals a day, and it works out. But if I get a spot closer to grocery options, I can shop the sales a bit better, and therefore maybe even tighten up my groceries a bit more. So that's always nice. Now let's talk about bedroom. When I first moved in and you guys saw my empty apartment tour, the bedroom was a really funny situation because it was hardly a bedroom. I would call this space a studio with a pretend wall. And I've got that funny window that opens up into my kitchen and that whole spiel. But most places are not like this. Hang on, I need to like not talk when I'm eyeliner. Oh, not bad. Most places are not like this. Even the very small 1-bedroom apartments actually have a real wall on the door. I've got a really thin, it's not even a real wall, really thin divide with pocket doors, right? Time for the other eye. My liner's not super even today, but maybe it's good enough. I just used the It Cosmetics Superhero Liner. I had this for a while. It was from PR and I never opened it or used it because I was so devoted to my Maybelline and my Stila, but this is actually pretty good. Like, I wore it the other day out of the blue and I was impressed. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry for a second and do my eyebrows. So, why did I just shake this? I shook my eyebrow pencil. What am I doing? I wouldn't mind a bit of extra room in my bedroom and having an actual bedroom. I don't really do very much in there other than sleep, and I think that was a good idea to keep my bedroom space just for sleeping and, you know, holding my clothes and whatnot. So my resting space doesn't blend into all my other spaces. So we'll see if what I end up looking at has a bigger bedroom, and that might be nice. I'm still not planning to get a TV. I don't find it necessary. I bought a projector and that's been excellent for just watching movies and Netflix. I've been doing a lot of that since getting the projector. So I'm gonna keep with the projector, leave the TV alone. As long as I've got good solid internet, I think we are golden. The nice thing also, moving this time around, no, it's really hard to talk and do your eyebrows at the same time. The nice thing this time around is that I don't really need to buy anything new. Even if the place is a little bit bigger, it might look a bit emptier. But in terms of all the furniture, all the day-to-day things, I don't actually need anything because I have everything for daily living, which is great. When I first moved into this apartment, I was coming into nothing. I had no dishes, I had no sofa, no desk, no shelving, no bed frame. So this move would just be moving my goodies around, and I don't really need to add anything. So anything that I do add is just a bonus, and that's a lot easier to say, you know, let's hold off on this. I will say, because I will be moving over the summer, I don't actually make any money over the summer. I don't teach summer school as a personal choice. While I do save up for, you know, summer expenditures during the rest of the year, I don't actually get paid in the summer. So I'm gonna have to be a bit tighter with my budgeting and whatnot once I move, just to offset the cost and just to see how my day-to-day is going to be like. But like I said, if I end up at a place that's a bit closer to commercial options, groceries and whatnot, and I have flexibility there, that's something I can really easily cut down on. And also because I don't need to buy anything new, like I can go a full year for sure without really have to buy very much other than the perishables and, you know, pay for your internet and your cell phone and stuff like that. Like, I don't need any more things. Do I want more things? Of course I do, but we'll see how that conversation goes with myself. Okay, I feel like the eyebrows are so wonky today. Probably wasn't smart to talk and do my eyebrows at the same time. I'll fix them up before I show you at the end. What I'm gonna do is curl my lashes, put on mascara. I may cut this part out because it's it always looks a little scary, but I swear it's not and it doesn't hurt. But just because I've got really straight lashes and I've got a single eyelid here, I really gotta like jam this into my eyeball. So intermission, we'll be right back after the lashes are curled. Alright, lashes are curled, mascara is on. I used my trusty Shu Umura eyelash curler and then the CoverGirl Total Tease mascara. This is the one with the really spiky wand, and as always I wear waterproof. It is a little tricky to get these on if you have a single eyelid like I do on this eye. You just gotta be really careful not to jab yourself in the eye, but I find it definitely really separates. I'm just gonna be more or less in the house today, so no falsies, whatever. I do want to put on a bit of this Pixie Endless Silky Eye Pen in the color Rose Glow. This is just a eyeliner that is like a taupey champagne. I'm going to add it just a bit to the inner corner, and then my kind of like my waterline just on that lower lash line, just for some fun and sparkle. I want to know, what are your priorities when you look for a place? I'm just kind of curious. Do you care about in-suite washer and dryer? I know that's such a luxury, but having my own, like my own one, has been so nice. Throughout the years where my family has always lived from place to place, we've rented and we've always shared, which is not a big deal, but having your own is really nice. A lot of the older buildings do have the shared laundry space with coin laundry. I don't mind the sharing as much as I mind lugging it around, having to time myself to make sure I get down there in time to take out my laundry, and just kind of it's also a little bit of a safety thing that I kind of leave my stuff somewhere. I don't know, it just feels odd. Like, do I stay there and wait for my laundry? I can't decide. But if there's a spot that does have the washer and dryer in the suite, that will be a selling point for me. What do you feel about dishwashers too? I am indifferent about dishwashers. I don't really care. Side note, trying to decide on a lip color. I've got a L'Oreal, what is this called? L'Oreal Color Reach Shine in Shining Peach, or I have the Dior Addict Gloss in Diorama. What do you think? Unfortunately, this is not lifetime and you can't help me choose in person. But they're actually almost the same color. But the L'Oreal does come up a little lighter. I don't know. Let's see. I'm gonna put it on my hand. I'll figure it out. I don't really care about dishwashers. I know a lot of people do, but I've always washed my dishes by hand. And actually right now, my dishwasher acts as a place for me to put all my dishes, because my cabinets in the kitchen are not sized and designed to actually store any dishes, which is hilarious. So my dishwasher just holds my clean dishes. Okay, can you see that? I feel like they're actually kind of similar. Interesting. No, I'm gonna go for the Dior gloss, I think. So no Shining Peach today. But most apartments that would have a in-unit washer and dryer will have by default a dishwasher. It just seems to be a very North American thing that everybody gets very uptight about having a dishwasher, which I find hilarious. Can't really put on lip gloss and talk at the same time, can ya? At least I can't. I gotta say, Dior lip products, especially glosses, is definitely a guilty pleasure. Oh, it just got real dark again. Alright guys, I think this is my makeup for the day. Thank you for taking the time to chat with me, get ready with me, listen to my first world problems together. Whatever's going on in your life, if you feel comfortable sharing, I'd love to hear about it in the comments down below. You know, I think at this time, it's so easy to push all your feelings and your problems aside in the grand scheme of bigger worldwide situations that are happening, but it doesn't mean that our feelings are not important, and it doesn't mean that our problems are not a problem, right? So share with me what you feel comfortable with down below. If you've got tips and suggestions on moving efficiency, especially when you're either by yourself, or how to pack, because right now I'm packing a home. I'm not just packing my room anymore. I've got furniture, I've got a lot more things. So any tips that you can pass on would be great. I'm hoping maybe to be found and in the process of into a new space early July. Therefore, I still have the rest of the summer to be off and enjoy. But until then, keep me posted on what you're up to, and I'll catch you later in our next video, or as always on Instagram. Bye everybody.